What's going on? It's your boy CJ GoodFella back with the Boston Clinic. One time for the one time. We back. Afternoon grind. I'm talking about boxers that switch trainers, and how does it work out usually? And if I had to guesstimate, it doesn't work out all that fantastic most of the time. You have your Manny Pacquiao, who, probably had a lower level trainer or boxing coach and went to Freddie Roach. And that really boosted Freddie Roach's career and then worked for both of those guys. And he took Manny Pacquiao and gave him some attributes that he didn't have before and gave him some tools, a good boxing gym that he didn't have before. And it did work out. But for every Manny Pacquiao, you have, a lot of other fighters that it doesn't work out for. Tim Bradley, would you say, the switch from Joel Diaz worked out for him? Yeah, he beat, Brandon Rios, but he had his worst performance with Teddy Atlas in his third fight with Manny Pacquiao. I think him and Joel Diaz, the camaraderie was, great. It was rich, and he should have just let that ride. You feel me? And most of the time these things don't work out. It's like, one loss, and they talk about the fans overreacting to one loss. It seems like the boxers overreact to one loss in a majority of the times. You just look at it over history. Look at Peter Quillen. Had one loss, a draw with Andy Lee, and had a firefight loss with Danny Jacobs, and he dropped Eric Brown. Now, the story how we got with Eric Brown was Freddie Roach had too many fighters. The time he had Pacquiao, Amir Khan, he had Peter Quillen, he also had Vanes Monterosian, and, Eric Brown was one of his understudies or trainers at the Wild Card Gym, and, he found himself working a lot with Kid Chocolate Peter Quillen, and it just worked, and he just, Freddie Roach gave Peter Quillen his blessing to train with Eric Brown full time, and it seemed to be working. And just a quick loss to Danny Jacobs. He runs to Virgil Hunter, and we're going to see how that works. But at the end of the day, it's his own fault. This guy took almost 2 years off, fighting 2 fights in 2 years, and expect to go out there and still be world championship material. It has nothing to do with Eric Brown. In Amir Khan's case, he got knocked out in the UK, got with Freddie Roach, got knocked out by Danny Garcia. And did Virgil Hunter change him? Honestly, he made Amir Khan a little bit more patient, but at the point of these careers for most of these guys, there is no change. You cannot change an upright fighter like Amir Khan. You can't make him slick. You can make him more patient, but at the end of the day, he still got knocked down and reverted to what he was. A fucking mongoose going crazy with his hands and not be able to shorten those combinations up consistently and be more defensive aware. He's an offensive machine. And Virgil Hunter, you can't blame him. He can't change what's in Amir Khan's DNA. You feel me? Shane Mosley and his daddy didn't work. Father-son shit, usually don't work. It takes your son to fear you for that to work. You may as well say that. Or have a certain level of respect like Sean and Kenny Porter. Danny Angel Garcia. As far as Miguel Cotto, he switched trainers from, his uncle to, Pedro right there. And I think he was at his very best with Pedro. But what was Miguel Cotto's problem? He wants to be the boss. He wants to do things his way. And that's why it works for Freddie Roach. Because Freddie Roach is a flexible personality. And that's the difference between Freddie Roach and a trainer like Floyd Mayweather Sr. He's a disciplinary. It's my way of the highway. Freddie Roach will flex with you. It's only so much Freddie Roach will take. We've seen that with Chavez Jr., but he'll work with you. But as far as with Pedro Diaz, I think his name is, he had him looking best. That was the best performance versus Floyd Mayweather I've seen in a long time, since the Castillo fight. And if Cotto was able to step it up another gear and go to and really get that left hook and do more body work, he could have beat Floyd that night, but he ran out of gas. But that's the best I seen him look, and he dropped this guy because he lost to Trout. That was his fault. He wasn't focused. Roger and Jesse Vargas, this is a perfect example. The styles just didn't mesh. Vargas gets with Dewey Cooper, and it works. He understands him. So that was a good move, But, you don't see Julian J-Rock, going against Steven Bredman. He lost. He got knocked out. You know what? It's back to the drawing board. Who knows you more than your day one guy? The guy that came to the dinner table with you, who came to the buffet with you. Who knows you better than him? I can understand if it's financial things like Jermell Charlo and Ronnie Shields, why they didn't work, and location. He wanted to start a gym closer to Dallas and not train at the Plex gym. And the split was a little bit funny for Ronnie Shields and Jermell Charlo. I understand that when financials don't work. But camaraderie is something you just don't take overnight. It takes a long time for a boxing coach, a boxing trainer to mold you into what you are. And look at Jermell. 2 fights in, first fight versus John Jackson, he looked human, a lot human. Like he regressed. Another fight with Charles Hadley, he looks like Superman. So it takes time, and in most cases it just doesn't work. And I'm not a fan of it after one loss. We gone.